Halo, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, excuse me. My name is Rizky Anadi. I'm from University Indraprasta PGRI, and then I want to tell you about human and animals movement. Human and animal movement organs. Sir, the rabbit is cute. Its fur is thick and its movements are agile. Why can rabbit run and move like that? Right, rabbits can move swiftly because they are supported by their movement organs. Basically, the movement organs of rabbit and other animals are almost the same as the organ of human movement. Without the moving organs, we cannot do any activity. Human and animal movement organ. One of the characteristics of living things is moving. In general, motion can be interpreted as switching place or a partial change of position or any part of the body. Living things will move when there are stimuli that hit part or all of his body. Motion in humans and animal using motion organs composed in a motion system. Motion organs are useful for walking, running, jumping, holding, digging, climbing, swimming, and so on. Tools motion used in human and animals. Organ of motion in animals and humans have something in common. Tools motion used in human and animals, there are two kinds, namely passive motion tools in the form of bones and active motion tools in the form of muscles. Both tools, this motion will cooperate in making movements. Comparison between the two mentioned devices from a system called motion system. Bones are called passive motion device because bone cannot move itself. In the absence of an active motion device that affects the bone in human and animal will be still and can form a real movement tools. Although it's a passive movement tools, but bone have a role to play in the human and animal motion system. Muscle are called active motion device because muscle have a chemical compound that makes him able to move. At the moment the muscle attached to the bone have the muscle will make the bone move. Based on the presence of absence of the backbone, animals are divided to vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrate and invertebrates. Vertebrate animals are animals that have backbone such as rabbit, elephant, birds, fish, lizard, snakes, and so on. Rabbit and elephant. Now let's imagine The rabbit and the elephant both move using their feet, but the mode of movement of the animal is different. Rabbit move by jumping, while elephant move by walking. Birds and fish. Birds move by flying their wings so they can fly through the air, while fish have motion organs such as fins. Fish move by swimming. It fins into a pair, which are on the right and on the left, and the tail fin that is behind. This fin is useful so that the fish can move forward. Lizards and snakes are animals that move in a slithering manner. Reptiles are animals that get by sticking their stomachs to the ground. Then, invertebrate animals are animals that do not have a backbone, such as grasshoppers, worms, snails, starfish, jellyfish, and so on. Grasshoppers have a tool of motion in the form of wings and 3 pairs of segment legs. Because it has this, locusts move by flying and jumping. Now we get to the human movement. In order for the body to stay healthy, we must always be active. From waking up to going back to sleep, moving activities will trigger sweat. From walking in the morning to running in the evening can help improve body health. In order to move, the body needs something called movement. Every human body will have 2 types of propulsion, namely active motion tools and passive motion tools. Both types of motion will form a motion system, namely a system of motion that makes the human body move. Now, as already mentioned above, in the human movement system, there are 2 parts motion tools that will help the human body move, active and passive motion tools. Then what is included in the active or passive of the motion? Active motion tools. Muscles are active motion tools because they have the ability to contract and relax. Muscles have 3 types of characteristics that you should know, namely contractility. Muscles can shorten when contracted. Number 2, extensibility. Muscles can lengthen during relaxation. And 3, elasticity. The ability of muscle to return to their original size. These properties make the muscle function as an active means of motion which will later work together with passive locomotion. Muscles can be distinguished based on how they work, some of which are antagonistic muscle, synergistic muscles, and passive motion tools. You already know that muscles are active motion because they have properties that allow them to move. But what will the muscle move? The bone will be moved by the muscle. The muscle will attach to the bone and perform contraction and relaxation movement that can move the bone. Bones also have a function to support the human body. Where blood cells are formed, and also protect vital organs. Bones in the human body can be distinguished in various ways, namely based on form, based on the constituents, and based on the body frame. Then, the summary. Animal body movement system. The movement system of vertebrate animal is the same as is human. Muscle as a means of active motion and bones as passive motion. Animal that live on land have a bone and muscle structure that is not much different from humans. However, animals that live in the air and with water have a distinctive structure. And human body movement system. In the human body movement system, there are two types of locomotion, namely active means of motion and also passive means of motion. For active locomotion, there are muscles included in it. As for the passive locomotion, there are bones which also function to support to the body. Hello guys, then this is the end my video. Thank you for your watching and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.